Welcome to the Swole Panda Podcast with myself, James, and Oliver. And today we have a very exciting guest, Leon, who is from Booyah Vitality. Booyah. Sorry, I had to do that at the end.
So, thanks for coming, Leon. So to hit it off, Leon, do you want to tell us about Booyah and its mission and what you guys do?
So, Booyah, hello, I'm Leon. Our mission, we want to develop like a healthier tomorrow, one delicious taste at a time. That's our vision. So we vouch for like gut health, developing everything healthy. Mm-hmm. All of our products are 100% natural ingredients from the natural form. We don't use like natural flavorings of whatever that means. For example, our ginger is cold pressed ginger. We get imported from I think Uganda through like London markets. It's the best ginger you can find.
Okay, cool.
And that goes the same for all of our ingredients. We pretty much do all of our flavors as well as the brewing at the minute. And we're led by Lisa, my mum, who's a naturopathic nutritional therapist by trade. She's been doing that for quite a few years now. And she's the brains behind the health side of the operation. And we're a family-built business from Hastings in it.
Awesome. Yeah. So, how did it start? Was that sort of was it Lisa, your mum, that kind of came up with the idea and then?
So mum started actually making kefir during, I think like just before lockdown.
Which is, it's
kefir is
yogurt,
like,
is it?
It's like fermented raw milk, essentially.
Okay.
It is better than it sounds.
Sounds interesting.
Sounds like, what? But to be fair, it's only me and mum actually consuming it in ever, I think.
Okay,
Okay.
Dad and my sister were like, absolutely not. Not into it. And then, during the pandemic, mum started making different like fermented drinks like kombucha.
Okay.
And travel was obviously limited. My dad used to work abroad. Mm-hmm. He couldn't get to where he needed to go to. He was a deep sea diver by trade previously.
Oh, wow.
A whole another separate conversation.
Yeah.
And so mum was like, let's start making this and see what happens. She had a small group of Pilates clients that she used to teach Pilates for at the time. And there was a demand for it there.
Yeah.
She started making it and started seeing health benefits with herself, more energy, like just an improved vitality, feeling healthier all round. And then so did her Pilates clients and stuff. So we just kind of scaled it from there. I wasn't even in the country at the time. I was in Australia, doing my previous job over there. But that's kind of the genesis of Booyah and how it started. But it was at the pandemic. We really leveraged the fact that summer, it was just an amazing summer, really long, hot summer. 2020 summer, and everyone was just wanting refreshing, healthy drinks. I guess people are outside. So that momentum really worked for us initially.
And how was it launching during the pandemic? Was it difficult to get product
There's pros and cons to it. Obviously, a lot of the pubs and stuff were shut, so there was a limited trade on that side. But people were starting to question about their health and vitality a lot more because obviously COVID, people wanted to be healthier. Mm-hmm. So the demand for that kind of drink was gaining more and more traction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Plus, back then, no one knew what kombucha is.
No.
Or was generally now a lot more people know about it, but back then it was a lot of educating, using mum's knowledge and expertise, or reciting her words in the back of my head to say what it is, what it can do for you, and how you can drink it essentially.
Shall we drink some?
Yeah. Let's try. I haven't tried. We do have something. I haven't tried.
It is, it's serious. I'm excited.
What flavour
do you want to? Which one? I'll go with the cucumber mint one. So this is
the lemon and ginger.
The bottle.
These two are the best sellers.
Okay.
Especially the ginger and lemon. That's won 2 stars in the Great Taste Awards, which is
awesome.
Pretty cool. Really proud of that. Yeah. See what you think. I'll open one myself as well.
Oh wow. Oh, that's really nice.
Really good.
Yeah.
No, that's genuinely. No, I'm not lying. That's genuinely really good.
And you should drink one of these a day.
I think when you're just starting with kombucha, you're not really used to fermented products. Just start with one a day and that'd be fine. But if I'm working and I'm at the unit, I'll have probably about a litre a day
Right,
usually.
sounds
Like I just have it all the time. Like
No, that's lovely.
yeah, I don't really have like any soft drinks or anything, so I just have this all the time.
Yeah, no, it's really, really lovely. And your role specifically in the business, Leon, is...
So when I first came back from Australia, about 2021, I think, I learned all the production, the brewing systems, how to make the products, really refining the recipes and just getting them like locked tight.
Yeah.
I did that for about a year and a half, and then I'm trying to work out the timeline here. And now, the last sort of 6 months, trained up George, who's our brewer, and he's doing all of that now pretty much. I help him here and there if he needs it, but yeah, the last sort of 6 or so months, I've moved fully into like online sales and marketing, doing it all the social media and that kind of thing. But yeah, there's definitely a period in between of juggling all the brewing and like all the social media, which is just like just staring all these pots. But
and it's amazing because it is all brewed in Hastings, which is where we are all
We are all
from.
All grew up there,
Grew up in Hastings, so yeah, it's all brewed there, produced there, and everything, isn't it?
yeah, all brewed in Hastings. I'm quite proud of that as well. Sort of bringing something to the town that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if we keep scaling up, providing more jobs for people in Hastings as well. Yeah, my parents have been in the community since the 60s, so it's pretty cool to,
Another generation.
put back into Hastings, so to speak. Yeah.
So, so I don't want to get too technical, but can you explain sort of the science behind kombucha and how that helps your gut health and just general well-being?
So each of these bottles, the kombucha, is loaded, it says on the label as well, millions of live cultures in here. It's like tiny little microorganisms that, if you imagine your gut like a sort of a garden, right? This is putting the good plants into your gut. That's a probiotic. That's what probiotics do. Any probiotic, whether it's kefir, kimchi, probiotic supplements, whatever. The dandelion coffee, if I switch over for a second, which is this stuff, that's a natural prebiotic. So that's like plant food for the good plants. So if you're talking about gut health as a whole, obviously I'm not a professional in this. This is all mum really. But it takes like a holistic effect to really sort of crack down on it. It's getting different sources of probiotics from kombucha, from kefir. This isn't the solution to your gut health, but it's going to be a factor in really helping you. So yeah, kefir, kombucha, a probiotic supplement, and then feeding it with prebiotics as well. That's what's going to really improve your gut health.
And it's amazing because I don't know too much about gut health, but my fiance and I, we were at one of her work colleagues' friend's house, and the wife was really into the gut health and everything. And she said like it actually has such an effect on everything, like mental health and everything. And like the phrase, follow your gut. It's actually like, and I when she was telling me about it, I was like, oh wow, you know what, that actually really makes sense.
Yeah. And you can get into the nitty-gritty of like science behind this, but ultimately it's quite difficult from a larger maybe corporate side of things to monetize gut health. It's not like a drug you can take. It's not like medication in the traditional like world as we know it today. And so you look at studies and stuff, it might not be like concrete evidence, but when you look at all of our customers who are just they're improving their gut health, their IBS is really simmering down. All these things are just their vitality. They just feel way better about themselves. I'm not saying this is the answer, but it's going to definitely be a notch in continuing on that path of like holistic health.
That is awesome. We do have a dog in here today.
We do. My dog is here. You heard a little bark there. She is in the office.
And it started in 2020, pretty much your mum's kitchen, right? In the garage.
Okay.
And then from the growth and COVID, you then moved into the larger unit. And that, we were discussing earlier, that was quite a big step, right?
So they started in the mum, dad, and my sister started in the garage. I sort of experienced the tail end of that. And then we moved into the back of, we sort of made a unit, sort of fenced off with like big plywood sheets. in the back of a friend's bingo hall. It's this narrow unit. It was just,
Where?
in Hastings,
Yeah.
in Hastings, but it was all contained and stuff. But it was in the back of a bingo hall, which was quite tough.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was quite tough, but it's a good part, like the grind of the.
Yeah.
I'd have a few friends out here and there helping out with like labeling and stuff, and they were like, "This is where like the sausage is made." Okay, like you're in this like corridor basically, you try to like shuffle bottles around. But yeah, and then we in I think August 2022. I could be wrong on that date. We moved into the new unit in Hastings, just off the ridge if you're local, and yeah, that was a big jump. We probably weren't ready for it at the time, but it was a great opportunity. We thought we're gonna buy it while we can.
Yeah.
And we haven't looked back really.
That's amazing. That's amazing because and I was saying earlier, we actually looked at the same unit.
We did at around the same time.
Around the same time.
Yeah.
Which
It's
is
a great
so cool.
size as well. Like, there's definitely a lot of room for growth in there, like, even where we're at still. So in terms of the greater scheme of things, it's going to prove dividends down the path.
And how was moving from the bingo hall to the?
We can't hire like a whole removal team. So
Sure.
I think we hired a van with a tail lift.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of manpower. Like me and Dad just like shuffling these tanks. Like you good? Like to you, to me. One of those.
So and the unit when you bought it, was that kitted out specifically for making kombucha? I imagine you need quite a lot of fridges.
It was bare. It was a
Just completely
bare
bare
like
unit.
space.
Did it
So
have literally the concrete and there was no
Concrete,
Because
yeah.
I remember they said that you have to kit
we
it
had
out.
to do it all ourselves.
Yeah.
I think Dad spent like a ridiculous amount of hours doing the floor paint because we have to get like a specific paint for the floor.
Yeah.
That is like for kombucha, not for kombucha, but for like making drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
It needed like a base layer and multiple different types of paint. He spent like hours up there. He'd be like, oh yeah, 10 o'clock after dinner, just like, oh, going back. He secretly loves it.
Yeah.
Going back there, paint the floor again. Yeah.
So you're kind of, I guess, a small business like us, but the difference being you guys are selling products that you consume. So what sort of advice would you give, I guess, someone else looking to maybe start a company that's selling consumable products? Do you have any bit of advice that would be different from if you're selling just a normal, for example, socks?
Ask some people who are in the industry already.
Yeah.
We've sort of been probably a bit cavalier at the start, which you probably need that. You need that as well to a degree. But we've definitely been trading in the dark a lot, like the whole way, which is exciting, but also just certain logistical problems, like even to a point of glass breaks. Like glass is heavy.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want glass in their facilities. Certain venues just won't allow it. But then also we want a dark glass bottle because that's the best way to retain the vitamins.
Sure.
Glass is better than aluminium for preserving what's actually in the bottle. Again, all mum's knowledge. It's just stored in the back of my head.
Yeah.
So we've had, like I said, the brains behind it being mum kind of. We've had that as our lead. But in terms of like the business perspective, it's definitely been a bit like figuring it out in the dark.
Yeah.
And trying to soak up as much knowledge along the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that comes with mistakes and
It's
learning.
a journey.
It is a journey.
Yeah.
Sure. You guys know.
No, it's great.
It's awesome. It's great. When you're doing it, you're sometimes like, oh my goodness, but looking at it, it's really cool. And how is it working with the family? Because it is, Whoa. All right, skip past that.
So is it four of you?
So yeah, my sister actually has her own business. She has a sing school.
Okay.
She's the happiest person I know. She's just surrounded by positivity all the time.
Okay.
But she does help me out with the socials, and she still does deliveries on a Friday. She's done that since the beginning. So yes, it's mum, dad, Philip, Lisa, and myself. Who are like the co-founders who work as the directors, so to speak. And we also have George the brewer and Tibby who handles our accounts, essentially, like our business-to-business accounts. What was the original question?
So that.
How
is it working family? Yeah.
There's always the argument, it's a blessing and a curse at times because it's your family and you want to tear each other's hair out sometimes. But I think we're pretty good at working together. We've had our arguments before, but we're definitely good at working together. And you know how to push people's buttons or how to not push their buttons. Back off if so-and-so needs some space.
Yeah.
Support each other if need be. But yeah, I couldn't live with them. Work with them. We'll say that. We'll say that. I mean, you need that kind of working relationship, and then I can go around for dinner and have a nice time. But it can be intense. I'm sure you guys know that.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, also thinking about like the longevity in the future, it's nice to be able to think about, oh, I'm doing this for my parents. Like this is kind of like their retirement plan.
Yeah.
Me working hard now is going to provide a lot of dividends for them in the future.
Yeah.
For them, you know, maybe a little apartment in Portugal or
Yeah,
whatever. Like,
nice.
and the thought of that is really motivating.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you just said there with the B2B account, so you have online B2B, because I was looking on your website, because you deliver locally.
Which is
to a
awesome. So
rate.
you still deliver yourself then
Yeah.
on Fridays.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So Phoebe delivers locally on Friday. So does Dad to the B2B places, little restaurants and stuff around town. We have about 120 different cafes, restaurants, greengrocers, bars, mainly around the southeast at the minute.
Yeah.
We ship nationwide as well, but most of our business comes from the southeast, at least at the minute.
And getting those, because obviously this is how we kind of started with the wholesale. How did you get those initial accounts? Was that just cold calling yourselves, or have you got an agent?
My dad, I don't know where this come from. Respect to Phil Driver, but he's got the gift of the gab. He can talk so well, and I don't know, maybe he's watched certain films a bit too much, I don't know, but it's come out of nowhere. He was never like a people person. Like, he used to actually back when I was a little kid, like run a car wash, and like absolutely just couldn't deal with the public. But like now, he's so good at talking, and it's wild to see, like, he's really good at convincing people that this is actually a great product. Do you like it? They usually like it, especially if someone can taste it. It's like, oh, actually, that slaps. It's really good. But yeah, most of the B2B accounts has all been Dad going out
And just,
locating like where potential customers might be and then going to them. And yeah, he's really good at converting sales. Like, whether that's the right method for scaling, probably not right now, but it's really gone quite well to this point.
Have you done any trade shows or anything like that?
Here and there.
Yeah.
This year, you have to ask the wrong person. Mum and Dad sort of do those. More so, but yeah.
And is the goal? Sorry, James.
I was going to say, just because, we do quite a few trade shows, and that's been a really good way.
It has
picking
been a
up
good way to get accounts further afield.
Getting accounts and then picking up agents, because I presume we've got in our industry in the gift and the menswear and ladies wear, you have like agents that have all the contacts with the stores. So I presume it would be similar where you have. I don't. Do you have any agents?
No agents. No. Not so much. Don't think so.
No. It'd probably be quite similar, which we found works really well.
Trade shows is definitely worth doing for us. I think it's at the minute we're a small team. Like the workload is really sort of split quite. Everyone's got a big workload. Like we feel it if someone's slacking. So at the minute, I think it's definitely in the pipeline to do more trade shows.
And the sort of goal moving forwards, is it to increase both direct to consumer and the wholesale side of things?
Yeah, both sides. We're about like 60-40 depending on the time of year.
Okay.
The B2C goes up more in the winter, and then the B2B goes up more in the summer, because obviously people are out in the pubs, they're drinking more.
So you sell it in pubs as well?
Pubs,
I guess it's a good alternative.
Obviously, it's a health drink if you're not drinking.
Yeah.
I always thought, if I'm not drinking, what am I going to drink? Like lime soda,
like Diet Coke
or
something.
Diet Coke or something.
Like,
it's kind of like,
but yeah, you're right.
two like pretty crap
having
options.
That in a pub would be.
It's a great option.
Yeah, it's a really good option.
Yeah, I wouldn't go like 4 or 5 of them from the jump, just because it's a lot of like it's a lot going on. So a lot of those probiotics a bit too soon. But yeah, also if a little bit of a healthy twist, it's a great mixer as well.
Okay.
A great feedback mixing like the lemon ginger with the spiced rum.
Okay.
We've trademarked the name Kombucha, and also gin bucha for the cucumber mint and lime. with a little cheeky
Yeah, I
gin.
can see that being
Yeah.
quite good,
Yeah.
So
definitely.
obviously you're doing your gut some bad by having alcohol, but like also some good with the kombucha. So yeah, life's about balance. You gotta work it out.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, we trademarked Kombucha and Kombucha, so that's potentially in our pipeline down the road a little bit. We're just not 100% ready yet in terms of releasing that product.
Is that if you were to incorporate? So you're saying you might incorporate alcohol into them? It's just it's a different market, and we're still solidifying ourselves as like we do kombucha. We do kombucha really well. Yeah.
I think once we're a bit more established and we're ready, the kombucha, kombucha is definitely something we want to get into.
And I guess that involves more regulations with selling alcohol. I'm not sure.
We can sell alcohol.
Yeah.
We have our alcohol license.
Okay.
But it's just a whole new product, and even doing it in, I don't think it would happen in glass bottles. It'd probably be in the cans. It'd be something different.
Sure.
Affiliated like with Booyah, but a different thing, so to speak.
Yeah. So that's sort of the future products. Yeah.
Of a different, we're sort of carving out a new niche market there because there's not really anything I can think of. Yeah, you got
anything like that. So.
like you got little Jack Daniels and Coke in a can, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But again, this is a healthy twist.
Yeah.
If you're mixing it with alcohol.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
You've got like seltzers and stuff, but I don't know about you, but I've not really tried one of those before, like an alcoholic seltzer that I really like that much.
They were big. We were in America earlier this year, and they were really big over there. But kind of just tastes like sparkling water with a bit of alcohol. It's not. It's not the best. I mean, it certainly doesn't taste as good as that. So no, I think there's definitely a market there. Yeah, awesome. And so the online side of the business, do you use Shopify as your?
We use Shopify, yeah.
How'd you find that?
We switched from Square to Shopify with this year.
Yeah.
Which was quite a bit of a steep learning curve.
That's a big jump.
Especially because you got a certain amount of people on subscriptions, and then you have to, unfortunately, you've got to cancel them all and then start them all on Shopify.
Right.
So inevitably, you lose some people there. There's a few things like, just in terms of learning, with Shopify, it's a different system.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think people may be a bit put off initially, especially because for subscriptions, you want to make it as easy as possible for people. It doesn't want to be hassle-free, and there's inevitably, when you're learning a new system, there's going to be some hassle.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that happened, but we're steadily building like since then. Shopify as a platform we find is definitely a lot simpler, easier to check things like analytics, and I think grow.
Easier to scale.
Yeah, definitely.
So is the subscription thing quite big for you guys, or is that something you try to build? Or?
It's definitely a portion of our market. I think at the minute, it's like November time. At the minute, people don't really want to have more subscriptions. You know, people are trying to fork out for Christmas.
How would How does it work? Is it sort of like because I do HelloFresh? Is that sort of a Sunday or the Friday? You said
you can pick whether it's monthly or fortnightly.
Yeah.
You can pause it if need be, but it's just fortnightly or monthly. You can pick whatever order you want.
One a day sort of thing, or.
Yeah, so if you had a fortnightly order of 12 kombucha, you'd have roughly one bottle a day, for example. Yeah.
Which is great because then you don't need to remember. Yeah.
Kombucha coming in. If you're local, it's delivered by Phoebe on a Friday.
That's really
that's the selling point.
James, I need to get you a van.
Yeah, I know.
Friday delivery.
Friday deliveries. I'd like that. Yeah, that'd be good. And it can last how long?
So in the fridge, from production date, it's 6 months.
Okay.
It's pretty good shelf life.
That's
but it's got to keep it in the fridge. If you don't keep it in the fridge, eventually you'll see this cap start raising because the pressure, and it keeps fermenting. It's a live raw product. So if you have kept it out the fridge, it's raw kombucha, don't open it because it might go.
Right. Okay.
You'll see a certain amount of like fail videos on Instagram or whatever, or people who've like made like homebrew kombucha. They're going to open it. It's just gone like exploded. It reacts to the oxygen. But yeah, in the fridge from production date, 6 months.
That's pretty good shelf life then.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Once you've opened it, it usually doesn't ever last long because it's just good and you want to drink it straight away.
Yeah.
I'd say drink within like a couple of days, 2-3 days, just because the fizz ultimately is going to drop as well. It's going to be it's different if it's flat compared to fizzy.
And because they're okay out of the fridge, say for 24 hours. You don't.
24 hours at the fridge.
You don't have to ship them.
It's not
In like a
cold chain.
No.
No.
You say, okay, so
Yeah,
that's,
it's fine to leave overnight outside, especially during this time of year. If it's sunny during the daytime, probably not best to leave them outside. But yeah, this time of year, absolutely fine.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is, it's cool. It's very cool. All right, now we have some quick fire questions. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
How much Leon do you want? Or what portion of Leon, how much Booyah?
Bit of both. Okay, what is your favourite Booyah product and why?
I'd say from the health benefit point of view, the turmeric and ginger power shot, this one here, it's just straight turmeric root, ginger root, a little bit of cayenne pepper and lemon juice. From a health benefits point of view, that really soothes my inflammation in my body. I do a lot of like jiu-jitsu, that's my hobby.
Okay.
And if I don't take that, chronic neck pain, just like trying to drive you to sort of like, rather than like turning your head like, but as soon as I'm taking that, it just goes away. It's really weird. Like 3 days of taking the turmeric shots, and it's gone. And that's something that we see in customers time and time again, especially if someone's had an injury. I don't know. I've got a friend who dislocated the collarbone, collarbone or shoulder, somewhere in that region, and came off the turmeric. 3 days pain, like back, and then jumped back onto the turmeric, and 3 days of taking it, and it dissipates.
Wow.
It's strange.
So it's really anti-inflammatory.
Super anti-inflammatory. I don't want to say take this and it's the answer to all your problems, but it helps me. It's helped a lot of our customers.
And that would be a shot a day?
Yeah, like a tequila shot, like a 35 ml shot.
Okay.
I would say once a day for maintenance, and then twice a day if you've got a particular ailment.
Okay.
But from a taste point of view, it's got to be the ginger lemon kombucha.
Is that the one you...
That's really.
Is it?
I like punchy, like big taste,
Yeah,
and that is just
Is it?
yeah.
Yeah, it's very tasty.
Okay, I'm going to have to try one.
You have to try one.
That one is... I finished it.
Okay, right. I will ask the second question. What do you do first thing in the morning?
First thing in the morning, usually groan. Like jiu-jitsu, like my body's usually just feeling a bit achy. First thing in the morning, I used to like to get moving, do a few sets of like pull-ups, push-ups. Usually after that, I got a little bit of a high, got some heat in my body. But,
how often do you do jiu-jitsu?
4 or 5 times a week at the minute.
Whoa.
It's just addictive. It's so fun, especially after when you work in your own business, you have stresses here and there. That is the best just anxiety reliever. At the end of the day, see the guys, see the girls, and it's just it's great. It's a great workout as well.
Yeah, I've never done jiu-jitsu. Did kickbox.
No.
I recommend, especially if you've got like a rugby background,
Yeah.
any kind of physical contact.
Yeah.
It's great, and it's also sustainable. Like it's the sort of thing I've looked at. Could be talking about jiu-jitsu now.
Sorry, but no.
But if you train smart, you can train into your 60s. Like there's lots of guys who train like way into their later years, and so it's definitely a sustainable thing that you can keep pursuing for your head as well.
Yeah.
Fitness is key. Fitness is key.
Very important.
And your go-to healthy gut-loving snack, what would that be? Not one of these, but
Any meal, if you just, I'm not saying like a roast dinner maybe, but pair it with a little bit of kimchi on the side, it just adds that like cherry on top, doesn't it? Like, great fermented product, great for your gut health. I'm not saying pair your kimchi with a roast dinner because that is a bit sus. Maybe you could make it work.
Kimchi, for those who don't know, is fermented cabbage.
Fermented like cabbage, carrot, different essentially like vegetables, like cruciferous vegetables usually. I've never actually made it. You're asking the wrong guy.
Apparently, it's quite tricky. I don't think it's that simple to make. It takes a while, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think you got to really know how to make kimchi. But you can even get like a decent kimchi in a lot of supermarkets now. But go to your local greengrocers, find like a good kimchi. There's probably someone who makes kimchi in your local area. Pairing that with different meals, even like stir-fried chicken, veggies, rice.
on the side.
Kimchi on the side. Add it in here and there. You don't want to put it on top.
Wow, this is a whole new world.
I'm on the side now. I don't want to mix
I'm
it
going to have to
in.
add it with my Hello Fresh.
That's it. And is kimchi a bit like sauerkraut?
A little bit like sauerkraut, but spicier.
Okay, got
it. So if you're not into spice, you're back on the kimchi. But kimchi's real good.
And one ingredient you keep in your kitchen?
Salt.
Okay.
Salt. If you're eating healthy, you're probably not using enough salt in your diet. I'm big into my salt. for like nerding out about salt now.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, go on. Like a Celtic sea salt.
Yeah.
It's got like 82 different minerals in there. Whether you need all 82, who knows? But
Okay.
if you're eating healthy, it's probably a big chance you're not got enough sodium in your diet. And I sense a lot from training a lot, sweating a lot. You lose a lot of sodium. You're not putting it back in. So
Yes.
I put a lot of salt in my food. Plus, it makes the food taste a lot better. Unless you put too much in, obviously you're gonna ruin it. But
Yeah. Because my mum always told me not to.
It's
salt
interesting
anything
you
too
say
much.
that because I've always been
that-
an advocate of salt.
Yeah, you got
Because if you are trained, like if you have a good session, you're aspiring a huge amount.
Yeah.
And I think it's only if you've got high blood pressure that you maybe should avoid it. But I think if you're fit, healthy, then there's no reason
table
not to
salt.
have.
Get it out.
Yeah, no.
I don't want to hear about
Good
table
old
salt,
sodium
but get like a
chloride,
good salt, right? Rock
Okay.
salt, sea salt, whatever you can find that's decent.
Yeah.
Put it on your food. I think a lot of those like don't use salt, like saturated fats, sort of like
Yeah.
egg yolks and that kind of thing. That's definitely a lot of old sort of
Old school thing.
mentality.
yeah,
a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I think it was just like busy in the media, sort of when our parents were in there, a bit younger. But no, I'm big on the salt. I'm big on eggs and everything.
Yeah.
And actually, moving on from that, what is the biggest health myth you wish would go away?
I've got to say about the eggs.
Yeah.
So,
The cholesterol.
yeah,
that's
cholesterol,
dead
man.
now, right,
Look, I had 12 eggs a day. I've put it out in the open.
12 eggs a
12 eggs a day.
Wow,
Absolutely
that's quite a lot of
fine.
eggs.
Blood pressure's okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely normal. But even people I train with still take the egg yolks out
Such a waste.
of their breakfast. I'm like, what are you
It's
doing?
the best bit.
It's the best bit. All the nutrients are in there.
Yeah.
It's so good for you. We've been eating eggs since the dawn of time. From
Yeah.
all of our like evolution.
Yeah.
Eat your egg yolks, man. Come on.
12 eggs, that's quite a few. How do you do
It is
that?
except I'm quite a large person.
Okay, yeah, you are right.
What do you mean? How'd you
Like, is that
what,
scrambled all in one like that?
So I'll scramble 6 in the morning, maybe put a bit
Okay.
of mushroom, a little bit of like red onion,
Yeah.
of course, salt,
Salt.
butter, always heavy on the butter.
Okay.
It's good butter. And then I'll put
What's a good butter?
good butter.
Yeah.
Just
Something
make sure
not
it's
margarine.
no,
Margarine's terrible.
yeah,
Margarine.
Yeah.
That's not really.
No, it's
not
not
butter.
butter. No, it's not butter.
just find something organic at like your local
Okay.
butchers or something.
Okay, so local produce.
Ideally like local, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I have 6 scrambled in the morning, and then 3 twice in different shakes. Right? I have 2 shakes, each
Wow,
have 3
okay.
eggs in. It is,
Fair.
yes, it's a bit excessive,
That's a
but
lot of eggs.
I'm also like, I'm a big human. so-
Yeah.
It's got a lot to go.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, that's true.
Love the eggs, though.
And well, the next question I think
We've probably
you've
covered
already
this.
covered is what do you do to unwind? But you do
Unwind.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If there's waves up, like I'd surf quite a bit. I've surfed quite a little while.
Okay.
That's probably the only thing that might just like edge jiu-jitsu. Even this time of the year, like it's freezing cold.
It's cold.
3 duck dives and you got brain freeze, but it's part of the fun. Like see the guys and yeah, surfing is so good. Yeah, but consistently
This time of the-
jiu-jitsu.
And that you do
this time of
that-
the year.
That's cold.
Like,
In
in
Hastings,
Hastings, yeah, if you got the
Hastings.
Yeah.
if you got the surf.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing, like you can like surf there, but take a lot of trips like Southwest. Got a bit of family in the Southwest, and I'll go to Portugal where I can. Yeah.
When you're in
If I
Australia,
can.
when you were in Australia, did you surf?
Australia
You
was
were surf?
a dense part of
Yeah,
surfing.
I can imagine. And if you weren't working with Booyah, what do you think you'd be doing now?
Good question.
Surfing.
So,
Yes,
yeah,
professional surfer. Yeah.
I've really got, since Booyah started, it was a really good entry for business for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I've got a real good taste for it since then, and loving every second of it. But I think if you take that portion of my life and sort of put it aside, and I continue what I was doing before, I'd probably end up in the fire service or something. Maybe in London doing fire safety. Thinking like before what I did and then continuing that. I think maybe that, but who knows? Might be a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure.
And if you could describe Booyah in one word, what would be
One word.
the word?
Probably vibrant.
Oh.
My family's big, loud, and like vibrant.
Yeah.
We bring a lot of noise, good noise.
Yeah.
But yeah, Booyah is loud. Like the name is loud. I think vibrant would be a pretty good way to describe it in one word.
I like it.
We like vibrant.
Yeah, I like vibrant.
What about Swole Panda? How would you describe that in one word?
Yeah, probably vibrant.
Yeah,
legit.
so.
Like
yeah, colourful, fun.
fun.
Not
Yeah.
too serious. I mean, that's not one word, but yeah,
A whole sentence.
Yeah, a whole sentence.
Great brand.
We try not to take ourselves too seriously, but yeah, bring the colour.
Playful.
Yeah, playful. I mean, I think that's where we kind of had a bit of our niche when we came in. Is that at the time, certainly with the socks,
Yeah.
they're all just dull and boring, and even the colourful ones didn't have that pop of colour.
The
which is
bamboo,
what we,
yeah, bamboo ones, yeah.
which is what we try to bring. So, yeah, that's kind
I
of.
was thinking about the name on the way here, like Swole Panda. Like, is it like a gym twist here? Like, I'm trying to get swole and big, or
So Oliver,
Well,
don't know if anyone knows, was under 18.
Yeah.
Under 18 UK bodybuilding champion.
It's going
Wow.
back. This is going back 12 years.
Natural,
so,
not,
yeah,
you know.
wow,
Yeah.
And then
natural,
Yeah,
or
natural.
No, it
yeah,
was
yeah.
actually natural.
Lots
It was
of eggs.
tested.
There
Yeah. There was lots of eggs. Yeah.
anabolic eggs.
and that was just before we started Swole.
Yeah.
And then we've always
And
been into
yeah,
the
and
gym.
it's all we've always been into fitness, and it just it's a different name. You know, people don't forget it. It's not just another. It's not like something sock company.
and
or,
bamboo in its natural form is super strong.
Strong,
You know, in
yeah,
Asia,
yeah.
it's scaffolding and stuff.
Yeah.
So you know, Swole Panda, when we started, it was just
Yeah.
bamboo products.
Well,
So
skinny panda just wouldn't work.
No, I mean that's just doesn't.
No.
roll
the thought of a
well,
skinny
yeah.
panda.
Yeah,
is just like,
yeah. Panda's a pretty big animal.
yeah,
right, you know?
yeah. That'd be weird. Skinny panda. Yeah.
And what's been your proudest moment so far with Booyah as a business?
good question. I don't think it's happened yet.
No?
No, I'm definitely guilty of not giving myself enough credit for milestones along the way, but having more taking charge of like the social media and the marketing side of things now. I think the first video we get that's viral,
Yeah.
I'll be really proud of that. And
Yeah.
it's a matter of time. We're sort of working and refining our content and getting it out there. It's
Yeah.
a matter of time until something goes viral. I think that will give us such a big boost, and you just don't know when it's really going to happen, do you? So I think when that happens, I'll be really proud of that.
Yeah.
But
that, even along the way, like moving into the warehouse, that's a proud moment. Like getting 100 retailers, like all of that stuff is.
even 2 stars on the Great Taste Awards
Yeah, I mean,
for
that-
that.
Like
ginger,
that,
like,
all of that stuff is absolutely amazing.
But I can
It
see what
really
you're saying.
is.
When you're in it and on that
Yeah.
journey to get somewhere, it's difficult to sometimes step back and be like,
yeah, you
this
want
is
to
what
like,
we've
look
achieved.
forward rather than
Yeah.
appreciating what's
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
just happened.
We're
But
guilty of doing that quite a lot. But your socials are awesome.
Thank you.
By the way.
I appreciate it.
No, they're really good.
Always trying to like refine it and make it funny, educating,
Yeah.
inspiring.
And I think that's what it's about, people to resonate with.
Yeah, and so if anyone wanted to buy Booyah, they can buy it online. Locally around the Hastings area, you can get a delivery.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's online throughout.
We're shipping nationwide. We're not in the rest of
Booyah.com,
Europe
is it?
yet.
No.
But yeah, UK shipping. What else? Yeah, BooyahVitality.co.uk.
.co.uk. Yeah.
Websites on the bottle. Check out our social media, Booyah Vitality. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
check them out, guys, because
It takes.
we can genuinely
I'm now going to try
vouch for
that
this.
one.
Yeah, well, you can have the rest of
Yeah,
that.
I'll finish that.
But yeah, very, very good.
Thank you, Leon.
Leon,
Yeah.
thanks for coming. And here's to successful business. for both
Yeah,
us in the future.
really
No,
exciting.
Thank you, yeah. No, thank you.
Thank you very much for watching the podcast. If you have any questions, please comment them below. If you have any other guests you'd like us to get on, please do comment them also below. And if you want to see our other podcasts, we are on YouTube or under Swole Panda. See you soon.